Here's something genuinely scary. You could stay awake all night, feel completely fine, and your brain would already be as impaired as a drunk driver's. And that's the trap. It starts breaking down way before you'd feel a single thing go wrong. So let's push it. Let's stay awake together and watch, hour by hour, exactly how a human falls apart. The first day, honestly, kind of boring. You feel normal, maybe a little tired, nothing a coffee can't fix. But here's what's actually going on under the hood. In a real controlled study, people awake for about 17 to 19 hours were failing tests just as hard as someone who's legally buzzed. 0.05 blood alcohol. Reactions up to 50% slower. And it only gets worse the longer you're up, creeping toward full-on drunk driver territory. So yeah, you feel stone cold sober. But your body? It's basically had a couple drinks and it forgot to tell you. Now push past the full day and things get weird. Your brain stops asking for permission. These are called microsleeps. Little slivers of actual sleep, 1 to 15 seconds long, that just barge in while your eyes are wide open. You don't choose them. You don't even feel them. For a few seconds, you are literally asleep. Standing up, mid-sentence, maybe behind the wheel. And this is where the whole "I'll just push through" plan quietly dies. You can fight feeling sleepy. You cannot out-stubborn this. Your brain takes the sleep at once, whether you're on board or not. By day 2 and 3, it stops being about tired at all. Now it's about reality. And this is the creepy part. The mind seems to fall apart in almost the same order every time. First, the world starts to bend. Somewhere around a day or two in, stuff just looks off. Weird edges, weird colors, plus this crawling anxiety and the strange feeling like you're watching yourself from outside your own body. Then it ramps up. After roughly 2 to 4 days awake, those little glitches bloom into full-blown hallucinations and tangled, messy thinking. And it's got an order. Your eyes go first. Vision's the most affected, then touch, then hearing. You might feel bugs crawling on perfectly clean skin, but the scariest flip isn't seeing things that aren't there. It's the moment you stop going, "Wait, that's not real," and start to believe it. Around day 3, something new shows up. Delusions. Not just seeing wrong, believing wrong. Rock-solid false ideas your fried brain now treats as obvious fact. And by about day 5, scientists describe something that looks a whole lot like full psychosis, or the delirium of a raging fever. Honestly, the person who's still awake for you is barely you anymore. So you're probably wondering the obvious thing. If this just keeps going, does it kill you? And the honest answer is way weirder than a straight yes or no. Because somebody's gone further. Way back in the 60s, a teenager named Randy Gardner stayed awake about 11 days straight, 264 hours for a school science fair. It's the most famous case we've got. Over those days, people watched him slur his words, struggle to think, and slide into those exact same hallucinations. And then he bounced back. He slept and he lived. But hold on, don't take the wrong lesson here. This is one guy, one story, about some safe experiment we run over and over, and later on, people question just how fine he really was. It tells you something that Guinness straight up stopped recognizing records like this, just because of how dangerous they are. So no, staying awake isn't a harmless party trick you tough out. The real proof that this can kill you comes from somewhere a lot darker. There's a disease called fatal familial insomnia. It runs in families, it's a prion disease, and it does something almost unbelievable. It slowly wrecks the exact part of the brain that lets you sleep, and then you just can't. Not with pills, not with anything. It starts with insomnia that keeps getting worse, and a body stuck in overdrive. Heart racing, sweating, blood pressure climbing. Then a slide into confusion and collapse. And over about 18 months, on average, it is always fatal. And in the lab, same story. In the classic rat studies, animals kept from sleeping died in about 2 to 3 weeks. Wasting away even while eating more, their body temperature control falling apart. That last part, losing the ability to stay warm, is the leading explanation for why they died, though scientists still argue about the full cause. But the takeaway is brutal and simple. Sleep is not optional. There's a floor under you and your body will hit it. So that leaves the big one. Why? Why is this one thing so non-negotiable that skipping it can unravel your mind and literally end you? Here's the twist that flips the whole thing. Sleep was never off. It's a maintenance shift. In animal studies, scientists actually watch the brain during sleep kind of open up. The space between the cells widening, letting fluid rush through and rinse out the junk that piles up all day, including the very proteins tied to Alzheimer's, flushed out about twice as fast as sleep is awake. And on top of that, sleep is when your brain saves the day into memory. So every night, You're not powering down. You're running a cleanup crew you literally can't live without. That wasted third of your life, it might just be the most important work your body ever does. So next time you're about to trade sleep for a few more hours, just remember what those hours actually cost. If this totally changed how you see your own brain, smash that like button. It helps way more than you'd think. But stick around because we're just getting started.